We've been using teleprompters for at least 3 years now, so we were surprised when everyone was raving about the Elgato Prompter. Is it just hype? The first thing that came to mind while watching a bunch of reviews was that everyone seems to be reviewing this in isolation. No one seems to have compared it with other teleprompters. I mean, sure, in vacuum, this is a good piece of kit, don't get me wrong, because it does solve a real problem. But as someone who has been using competing products for the better part of 3 years, are there competing products out there that can do a better job? We'll come to that, but let's start with what we like. So, the software that this comes with. First of all, this is not a dumb prompter. Let's say it's a smart prompter. Maybe that's branding Elgato can use. So this smart prompter comes with software. So it's essentially a display which kind of reflects onto that beam splitter glass, and the display can also act as a monitor, so it also has software. The software is called Elgato Camera Hub, and it has an inbuilt prompter. You can copy and paste text there, and the software, we really like it. The fact that you can add your scripts there, you can change the text, the size, etc. It's really nice. We also like that although this is not really a small prompter, it is pretty light, so it doesn't weigh down your camera much. It works with wide angle lenses, also phones, and Elgato face cam. So there's a lot of compatibility there. It's quick to set up. There's one cable, plug and play. No, stuffing your phone under a glass, etc. using one hand and using the other hand to adjust the prompter. So that's good, and it can act as an extra display. So if you keep it next to your main monitor, it could be a second monitor which is on all the time. And the good thing is if you're on a Teams call, you could be basically looking at your call, but also looking people in the eye at the same time. So these are the things we really liked about the Elgato Prompter. But there's a bunch of things we don't like. Well, there's two ways of using the prompter itself. You have something called constant scrolling, so the text scrolls constantly at a pre-specified pace, or there's voice sync. And voice sync is great on paper and when it works. But for me, it's working right now. I'll just show you. But voice sync for me often doesn't work. The mic just doesn't go to active, and it gets stuck on initializing if you unplug and plug often. And the software in general can be janky. So you see that it worked right now. It has been working the last couple of times, but I have had a lot of issues with it getting to work. The thing that says active here on top, it just doesn't go to active many times. So if voicing works, this is fantastic because this is not something many other prompters can do. But the software can be a bit janky, like we said, especially if you unplug and plug often and don't turn it off. It kind of gets a bit confused sometimes. Fine, that's okay. But I think this is a bit bulky. So even though it's light, like I said, it is taking up quite a bit of space compared to a very small prompter which I had before this. And let's then get back to the question, should you buy it? Now, we've had the Parrot Padcaster teleprompter version 2 for 3 years. It was $79 3 years ago. It's not available anymore, but you can pretty much get it secondhand, I think, because a lot of people tend to get rid of teleprompters. Not everybody's constantly doing content creation. Maybe it doesn't work for them. So if you look on your used websites, you might get quite some good deals on it. But again, if you want to buy a new Padcaster Pro, it's $149, which is a step up from the $79 3 years ago, but it is still compact. It is super light and great for small spaces like this one. So for most people, I would say the Parrot should be good enough because it also comes with a remote. There's no remote on this, so it relies on, steady kind of scrolling or voice sync. But Parrot does struggle with wide angle lenses. I've shot so many videos with wide angles. There's always a bit of a vignette, and it's not a super wide angle that I have anyway. So you do need a phone as well on the Parrot and the app to insert the phone into the prompter to use it. But having said that, yes, it's not the most convenient. Yes, you can't use it as a second display. The Elgato is still $280. That's a lot of money compared to $150. It's like almost double the price. For that price, you can get 2 teleprompters. Of course, there are a bunch of extra features, so you need to decide what works for you. For now, I'm keeping both of them. Relax, have a cup of chai. Bye.